paper, so I couldn't cut it out for you. I used to take the paper, but not too expensive. So. All right. So we are ready. We're on Cramer's rule, which is the back side of 46, the back side of page 46, and we are ready for problem B. Now, you all know how to solve this system using substitution or elimination, and if you are left on your own, I mean, there's no directions, you can solve this any way you want. But I promise, first we're going to have a quiz that says solve using Cramer's rule, and then we're going to have a test, and one of the problems is going to say solve using Cramer's rule. Okay? So, let's see if we can remember any of the steps from yesterday. We only did one problem. If we're doing Cramer's rule, does anyone remember how we begin?
Make a determinant.
Make a determinant of what? Just the x and y numbers, right? We call it the coefficient determinant. So 1, 1, 2, negative 1. Now notice, no letters in these determinants, just the numbers. So 1, 1, 2, negative 1. Got it? Now we're going to evaluate that determinant. So here we go. What is the answer to that determinant? What do I get when I evaluate this? If you said negative 3, you are right. It's negative 1 minus 2. So it's negative 3. Now, does anybody remember what I do with the negative 3? Chandra? Exactly. My answers, which are going to be an x and a y value, an ordered pair, are going to be fractions. And the denominator of those fractions is negative 3. Whatever you get here, that's the denominator of your fractions. So now you need to find two numerators. You need to find a numerator for x and a numerator for y. Okay? Who remembers how to do x? How do we do the numerator for x? We use these guys, right? Now, if we're solving for x, these are the x numbers right here from the problem. If we're solving for x, they go in place of x. So we put the 7 and the 8 here, and then the 1 and the negative 1 stay the same. The 7 and the 8 cover these up. So then we can evaluate that. What would that one be? Negative 7 minus 8. Negative 15? So that's your numerator. Well, that means your x value is just 5, right? Now, what about y? What am I going to do to find my y? Same thing, only the 7 and the 8 are going to cover up the y's. So I have 1, 2, 7, 8. 1, 2, 7, 8, because the 7 and the 8 cover up the y's. Mason, pay attention? No. So here we go. Answer will be 8 minus 14, negative 6. Negative 6. So that goes here, which means my y value is 2. And the answer to the problem is 5, 2. So when I grade your paper, I'll be looking for that determinant, and that determinant. That's the work. All right, let's try the next one. I know you could do these using other methods, but we're practicing Cramer's rule now. So here we go. First thing I do is figure out my coefficients. So 3, negative 4, 1, 2. And again, you got to copy them down right. These are your x's, 3 and 1. These are your y's, negative 4 and 2. Now let's evaluate that. 6 minus negative 4. 10. So whatever the answer is, it's something over 10. X and Y are both over 10. Now, we might not end up with fractions, right? But we start with fractions. Okay, so Zion, I'm going to do x now. I'm going to find this number right here. Okay, so do you remember what I have to do? I do what? Okay, who can help him out? Emma?
The 9 and 2 will replace the x's.
The 9 and the 2, these guys over here, go in place of the x numbers. So I'm going to write 9 and 2, and then I still have my negative 4 and 2. Don't change that. Don't change the y's. We're just pasting 9 and 2 on top of the x's. So that gave me 18 minus negative 8. 18 minus negative 8. So I got 26. Did you? That reduces, yep. That's going to be 13/5 for my x value. All right, now I'm going to do y. I do the same thing, except the 9 and the 2 cover up the y's. So the 9 and the 2 go right here. So you have 3, 1, 9, 2. What do I get? 6 minus 9, negative 3. And that one doesn't reduce, so it will just stay negative 3/10. Now, as you were scrambling to escape yesterday, what I was trying to talk to you about was that, yes, we can do this problem using substitution or elimination. But when you solved it, you would get x equals 13/5. Then what would you have to do if you were using substitution or elimination? Plug in the 13/5 and do the arithmetic. Okay, yeah, sure, we can do it, but it's a hassle and nobody likes doing the fractions. If we use Cramer's rule, I don't have to do any of that plugging in. I just have to do a couple of determinants. All right, we got one more. I think that's it. Yep, one more. All right, Zion, we're going to try it again. What do I do first, Zion? Very, very first.
Get the x's.
I put
2
the,
and negative 3.
So we call those the coefficients. So I get the coefficients in position and find my determinant, which would be what? What is the value of this? I got 23. Anybody working along with me, I hope? So that means whatever my answer is, it's something over 23.
Will you ever do one of these and it's like a 3x3?
You can do it in a 3x3. Absolutely you can. We're not going to, and I want you to think about that. That means that your determinants are all 3x3s, which means you have to recopy the columns and do all that arithmetic to evaluate each one. That's a hassle. What makes this so nice is I can do this work in my head. It isn't a bunch of work. But Cramer's rule will work on any system, no matter how big it is. Okay, so Jalen, can you tell me what to do next? I have figured out that my denominators are 23. So what do I do next? And how do I do that? Yep, you're right. I'm going to figure out what the x numerator is. How do I do that? Nope. Who can help him? Who can help him? Judah?
Oh, 1 8.
Take the 1 and the 8 and paste them right here on the x numbers. So we have 1 8 7 1. So that will be what? Negative 55? So that goes up here, negative 55. That's a hideous answer, but we don't even care because we don't have to do anything with it. All right, now, what about y?
16 minus negative 3.
Take the 1/8 and put it here this time. And 2 negative 3. So what's that equal? 16 minus negative 3. I got 19. Now I tell you, if you had to do that with substitution or elimination, you'd still be working. This is faster when you get answers like that. This is faster. Okay? All right, before we go to the calculator, we're going to do a practice quiz, then we'll go to lunch. And is this the lunch period? It is. Yeah. So we'll do a practice quiz, and then we will come back and use our calculators. So,
Practice quiz doing the Cramer rule?
Cramer's rule and the inverse method we learned yesterday. Or the inverse. Finding the inverse. All right. So on Monday, we're going to have a quiz, and we'll have just 2 problems on it. To save paper, I put the next practice quiz on the back of this one, so please hang on to this. Okay. So, here we go. Number 1. Oh my goodness, we just talked about this. Let me give you a minute. See how far you can get. See how far you can get with solving number 1 using Cramer's rule. Yeah, let's go, guys. Come on. I will do it up here so you can check, or I can check my answers with you. But don't look up here. Try to do it on your own. Just look up here if you get stuck. Boys, what are you doing?
He's helping.
Oh, okay. You sure are having a good time.
Math is fun.
Math is fun. I can't argue with that. You're right. Okay, now, I need you guys to check me when you're ready.
I got that.
You did?
Yep. But since there's both 2 negatives, can you just make it a positive?
Oh, didn't I do that?
Oh wait, yeah. I didn't see that. It was 5.
Okay.
We won't be allowed to use a calculator.
You don't need a calculator. That's one of the glories of Cramer's rule.
But what if we can't simplify those fractions?
Well, I'm sorry if you can't divide by 4 at the ripe old age of 18.
I still
We're
I
trying to-
can't divide by 4.
You can't?
I don't know, 6 divided by 4.
Like,
That's
you can't
why
do long
I did
division?
it. I
I
did
would
it right
not.
here.
If someone used 6 divided by 4, I would not know that.
You can't do long division.
Oh, yeah, but I was.
All right, does anybody have a question about that?
Yeah.
That is going to be our first, well, it's going to be one of the 2 quiz questions. I don't know what order you'll have them, but one of those will be on your quiz Monday.
The second one, I forget how to do
Took
the
it
second
away.
This is the answer right here. Are we good, Chase Stewart? We good? Caroline Brown,
Yeah.
good? Mason, you said you got it right. Armand, what about you? You got it? Okay, so that's number one.
Slow.
Now, number two. Oh gosh, we did this yesterday, but does anybody remember how?
I might have A now.
This is where we're gonna find the inverse. And we have negative 1, 1, 2, 3. All right, who remembers how to do this? This,
Which is hard to do.
Francie.
Yeah, flip the negative 1 and 3.
Okay, so she says I'm gonna build a new matrix. And I'm gonna flip these two numbers. Okay, so that means the 3 will go here and the negative 1 will go here. Okay, and then this will become a negative 2, and this will become a negative 1. Now somebody will put that down as the answer, and I will have to make some corrections. What else is there, Caroline?
You have to first, the cosmos by the top one.
What do we call that? Do you remember? Find the determinant. So she says you do the cross multiply thing. That's like we're finding the determinant. So the determinant of this is negative 3 minus 2, which is negative 5. Then we take all of these numbers that we just built here, and we divide them by negative 5. If any simplification can be done, you need to do it. So that's just negative 3/5. That would be positive 1/5, positive 2/5, and positive 1/5. So this would be what you would put in the answer blank or put a circle around or something. Does everybody remember that from yesterday? Now, some of you have already discovered one of your homework assignments is a page that you have in a packet that's called Determinant and Inverse Practice, and it has Cramer's rule on it also. So you've got in that packet, even if you don't choose to do the homework, if you want to do a little extra practice, the problems are in there. Okay? Quiz Monday, when you come back from lunch, we're gonna do something totally different. The quiz on Monday is one of these and a Cramer's rule. 2 problems. Okay? All right, let me see, I need you back at what, 51? 51, be on time, 51.
Dude, yeah, you're really missing it.
Mason, all right.
Yeah, I'm having
Sure.
extreme FOMO right now.
You're having what?
Extreme FOMO.